Hey, what's up, fool? It's your boy Chinks Drugs, and this is RapMatic.
RapMatic presents Battle Code, the most intriguing battle rap podcast impacting the culture.
What's happening, handsome? You now tuned in your boy Low to let you know what's up when I'm rolling up, huh? Ace click faster than Harlem still at 8 train slick, hear me. You now tuned in the Battle Code on RapMatic, huh? Go get this work.
Brace yourself and don't miss out on a cultural revolution.
Cheer, what's up everybody? I am your host, Sports Chick Rain, and welcome to Battle Code. Today in the studio, we're doing something a little bit different. We have a hip-hop veteran, a true pioneer. You already know, a Queensbridge legend. Give it up for Cormega in the building. What's up?
It's good.
So the intro was really all about something I heard, I did my research, and I actually liked how you referred to yourself as a soldier of the culture. That's what I really wanted to say. It wasn't coming out, but a soldier of the culture, and how you didn't really like being referred to as a legend, though people call you a legend. Why is that?
When I think of legends, I think of Run DMC. I think of Chuck D, Public Enemy. I think of artists that came before me that set such standards and some of them don't even get the appreciation and the praise they deserve. So I think I don't think I've done enough to merit that title, because they've done more than me. So it's like I'm striving to be comfortable with that word.
I guess that's why I also went with Queensbridge legend, because you definitely, would you consider yourself a legend of Queensbridge?
Definitely. Well, urban legend.
Why urban legend?
I guess an urban legend because even before music, I was known in the streets.
So normally I kind of like start out like doing a timeline, but I don't want to I want to start from now and then we'll go back.
Okay.
Let's talk the project, Mega.
Okay.
It's a 5-song. So that I was confused. Like I checked it out. It's dope. You know what I mean? It's arranged differently. 5-song EP, but you also have the beats on the project.
I basically put the instrumentals like for a bonus. Like,
okay.
I'm independent. So when you're independent, like really independent, you can pretty much do what you want. So I said to myself, a lot of artists, aspiring rappers, sometimes they ask me for the instrumentals. So it's like, all right, and for the fans that want to vibe out to the music, because I thought the music was a significant part of the project as well. It was produced by Street Runner and co-produced by Tariq Azuz.
Okay.
So I put the instrumentals just for like it's a temporary thing. It'll be going, I might leave the instrumentals for a year.
Why only 5 songs?
All right, well, this is the way I look at it. EPs, it depends. I've seen EPs with 3 songs.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially in this day and age, in this climate.
Right.
Some people put out EPs with 5 songs, 5 to 7 songs, I guess, right? But we just came off a year when like 8 albums came out with 7 songs.
Right.
Like every Kanye project last year had 7 songs.
Right.
So I'm like.
But then surprisingly, some impactful albums actually, they extended the listing. So like Meek Mill's, I was surprised his album had, I think, 17.
Yeah.
J. Cole, so even though this climate is like a, a short track listing, but I think some people kind of took it back a little bit.
No doubt. And that's a good thing. I mean, I really wanted to do an EP because I took so long to come out with an album. And out of sight, out of mind.
Right.
So especially when you've been in the game for a while, there's so many new artists coming out that we have to keep up. You can't just rest on your reputation. And I don't want to be one of those artists that's just like known for what I did previously or living off the past. I hate that, actually. So okay. I promised the fans I was going to come out with a project last year. That's why I made an EP, because it was quick and it's to the point. And I had one producer. So I got the music, I vibed to it, I made it happen, I put it out. So now, the beautiful thing about that project also is like it didn't last for like how an album comes out now, they talk about it for a week, and then like 2-3 weeks later it's like it never came out.
Right.
So that is still out there, like people still gravitating towards it and it's still making noise, so that's good. that gives me time to finish the real album.
Okay.
So this year I'll be coming out with more stuff.
Okay. I wanted to know what inspired or provoked the Mega album.
The Mega, well, what provoked it, what inspired it was the fans, and I wanted to separate myself from MCs. It's like certain times you see in sports, they might say this athlete's the first one in the gym and the last one out. So, and then there's other people that just they get their contracts, their big contracts, and they're good. They don't really go hard as they used to before they had the contract. So it's like I wanted to separate myself from some of my peers, because I always felt every rapper feels like they're one of the best, or they're the best, or like they're on the other level. So it's like I just wanted to level up, in my opinion, and filter out who's who, like who's on this level, who could come. So that's what I was trying to do.
And who were you trying to reach in particularly for this album?
With this album I was trying to reach the fans. I was trying to reach my core audience. I was trying to reach the people that feel abandoned, because you got to understand, like, women mature faster than men. So
glad you said that.
That's a fact. So there's many times when you're a woman, so there's many times like you'll enjoy an artist, and in a few years, like after a while, y'all outgrow it. It's like, cause y'all onto other things mentally.
Right.
And the audience is like that also. Like you gotta understand, hip hop is the youngest genre of music. Right. So as it grows, as we grow with it, we went from youth to adolescent to adulthood. Some of us that are adults, and some of the fans that are adults, don't want to hear adolescent content.
Right.
We let that's for the younger crowd.
Right.
So it's like, as we grow, what music is relatable for us? Like Anita Baker was for that for that audience,
right.
And Sade, that's sophisticated. So we're the sophisticated.
Even though quietly, that's what's kind of missing from this era, is that we were able to grow up to that though.
Yep.
Like it's not the same in this era where we at least, I'm saying, like, when we grew up to Anita Baker.
Exactly.
You know what
exactly.
I mean? Like, as well as hip hop.
And it nurtured us. There's nothing nurturing us. There's nothing like when I was running the streets, my father wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? So I had people like Slick Rick to listen to and say, a man never loses a fight in God's sight. You know what I'm saying? Righteous laws are overdue and things of that nature. Or I had Rakim to drop knowledge and make me want to aspire to expand my vocabulary and learn what he's talking about, or give you knowledge yourself. Or Chuck D, I never heard of Farrakhan until I heard Chuck D say it. It's like, so we had those artists that taught us, and now this generation, even some of the older artists are disappointing the youth. That's why there's a divide, like,
exactly.
Because some of the older artists is trying to compete with the younger guys.
You
look goofy,
right,
and it's like, so you're competing with them, and then you're not guiding them.
Exactly.
If a young person does something that you don't agree with, you're condemning them rather than putting yourself in their shoes. Like, exactly. I remember, so what I be telling a lot of artists, like the older artists, I said, you can't do that. You got to remember you was their age once. Right. So you got to remember, like, even though when we was growing up, we had better lyricists, or if the art was more purer, there was whack artists too.
Of course.
There's some people that we didn't accept really as dope artists, but we let them in just for entertainment purposes. And they're young. They're young enough to make mistakes and learn from it and grow from it. But when you're old and you're making the same young mistakes, that's what you really should be criticizing. So let them. So when I made this project, I did it for the listeners, and I did it for the people that wanna listen to hip hop without hearing lyrics that are disrespectful to women or overuse of profanity. Right. I wanted to make something my grandmother could be proud of, or something like that. So if you take another listen to the album, to the EP rather, the main thing that I did that I'm very proud of, I didn't name not one brand. It's like every album is a free commercial.
Right.
Like especially the minority economic power, we make or break companies.
Right.
Like,
well, I'm glad you brought that up, because what about, you know, now with the Gucci, you see that the whole thing with Gucci.
I seen it, I'm disgusted. I don't buy Gucci anymore. I have some Gucci products, but it's from me taking care of my stuff. Like I've had it since like the 90s, late 90s or whatever. I don't buy Gucci no more. I went in the store, I forgot where the Gucci.
What made you stop buying it?
I went in the flagship store.
Okay.
I forgot where it's at. What is it, Fifth Avenue or whatever?
Probably, yeah.
I went in there, I bought a Gucci watch, right? Usually when you go in the store, they watching you, but once you're spending money and you're spending cash, it's not like you're doing a credit, like they think you scamming us. You're spending cash, and then they usually ease up. Like, you know, they'll tell you in the walkie-talkie, oh, this guy's good. So I buy a watch, and I see them, you know, I got the receipt, it's in the bag, everything's good. I see the dude, like on the little thing, walkie-talkie, whatever thing, they got an elevator in there. They got, you go upstairs in that one, or unless they changed it. So I go upstairs, and they still watching me. I'm from the streets, bro. I know when I'm being watched.
Exactly.
So I'm looking at this dude like, y'all still watching me? I just spent like a lot of money in here.
Right.
So the way that I felt when I went home that day, that night, it didn't sit well with me.
Yeah.
So the next day, I took the Gucci watch back, and I got my money back, and I never bought Gucci since.
I respect that.
So I became, I was proud of myself then, and Nike did something a few years ago that was derogatory towards us, especially at that moment when LeBron and them was, LeBron was writing "I Can't Breathe" on my sneakers, and he was advocating for social justice.
Right.
Carmelo, a lot of the Nike ambassadors was speaking up for our issues, and during that same time, Nike gave a discount to the cops and correction officers during the same week when there was a big decision going down with social issues in courts. So I was disgusted. A lot of people were disgusted about it. So of course, people go to Twitter and social media and they voice their dislike.
But no follow-up.
Exactly.
Right.
So I seen a lot of people speak on it. Then next time I seen them, they had on Nikes. Now that was hard for me because most of my sneakers, I've been a sneakerhead.
Right.
Like you could do research on that. Like I was a sneakerhead before it was fashionable.
Okay.
So probably 60 to 70% of my sneakers was Nikes, but 100% of me is black.
Right. I respect it. I love it.
So I stopped wearing Nike. I stopped wearing Nike for like 3 years. I just started wearing Nike.
Oh, okay. You have to
I got on Ewing. That's how I started wearing Ewings.
Okay.
Because I said to myself, I said these brands have to
Make me
really.
feel bad now. I normally don't wear
No,
Jordans.
but Nike's cool again. They fixed up.
Oh, they fixed it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm about to say I don't remember that story,
yeah,
but
I get you some
I try
research
to be
on that.
aware.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So during that time, I challenged myself. I said these brands got to understand we make the brands cool. They don't make us cool.
Exactly.
Like,
Cause we can wear anything.
yeah, exactly. Like that's just
Right,
they
that's-
got to respect that.
Right.
And Nike should know better because the urban market is what revitalized your brand. Y'all
Right.
was economically struggling. It's like the drug dealers and the street people was the main people buying Air Jordans back in the days. Who could afford Jordans back in the days? Jordans
Right.
was a status thing.
Right.
Regular.
But that's why I always bring up Jordan, not to like get on that, you know, because I've had this talk a million times, but just the fact that he didn't really stand tall in the gut of it when, you know, when dudes was kind of like killing for Jordans. You know what I mean? I know that's kind of like a touchy thing, but just being an athlete and from his era, he was from the same era or the second era after Kareem and them. So for him to kind of not really say nothing until after years later, until more recently, I think in the past 5 years, he became a little bit more vocal.
I guess once he got that billion, he said, I'm good now.
I guess, but it's like whack, you know what I'm saying?
I agree with you. I agree with you. And I love me some Michael Jordan. You know,
Word, we all
significant
do, you know?
artist.
Right.
I mean, athlete, but yeah, he should have spoke on that. But like,
see how you're talking now. This is what I want to, ask too. Like, how do you feel? I was going to ask this down the line anyway, but just because to me, that's what hip hop is supposed to be. It's supposed to be you speaking about your real life, which is, you kind of you epitomize that in your music. Like you really about real, exactly. You're welcome. Real rap, real rhymes, and that's the core of hip hop. It don't matter what you're doing, whether you're a nerd or whatever you are. It's supposed to be real,
exactly.
And you're supposed to address the issues. Like, so how do you feel about the transition in the game where the realness, like, it's kind of not there?
It's muted out.
Right.
I think corporations ruin hip hop. Corporations focus on rap now, but not the real hip hop, because I think it's a little bit to do with corporations. I think it's a little bit to do with I our society being Eurocentric. Like anything that's gonna uplift us, they try to stop it. And it's a fact when you look at the diversity that was in rap at first. Like you could have your hardcore rap, but you could still listen to Chuck D and Public Enemy, or you still had Tribe Called Quest with abstract, positive vibes. It was you had Queen Latifah.
Right.
And if you want it, you could hear NWA if you want. You want Rakim, you can listen to that. If you want to hear something L Street, it was diversity. They took out everybody that was giving knowledge to self or that was talking positive, they moved them out. They moved them from the forefront. So that's one of the things that changed the game. And then corporations, it became greed more than art. It's like culture and greed conflicted.
Right.
Like when I was on Def Jams back in the days, I noticed like labels, their main agenda is the plaques on the wall. So you could be a dope artist, but if you don't, you can make an amazing album, but if it doesn't go platinum or like you was looked at as like expendable. So like they changed it from they changed the art of it to the economics of it. And that's what ruined everything. Because once you start turning to economics, anybody can get involved. You could suck.
When you say they though, you mean just the powers that be, or
the industry.
The industry, people that control the labels. I'm gonna go back to your album. I don't know how you feel about comparisons, but I think it's also something that's natural. Just in your cadence and flow, you can definitely hear the Queensbridge connection. I feel like, you know what I mean, from you to Prodigy to Nas. There's a, you know, even now on this album, you still kind of hear that.
Well, it's an honor to be mentioned in the same sentence as those artists that you named because they're all great. I think Queensbridge was like an elite college. It's like growing up in college. It's like a college for lyricists, for street rap. I don't think nobody's ever done street rap like Queensbridge. I think
it was always distinctive though, like that sound.
Like let me give you a perfect example. Listen to MC Shan's song The Bridge. It's not even that song has got to be pushing 30 or 30, and it still sounds relevant. It doesn't sound dated.
No, it doesn't.
Whereas some music, you'd be like, all right, that was cool back in the days.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, there's something about Queensbridge, the way that we structure rhymes, that's just, I got to
It's the lingo too though, right?
Huh?
It's the
the
lingo.
language and everything.
Yeah.
I guess it's the culture, because Queensbridge is a diverse place. There's like 6 big blocks, and every block in its own is big enough to be its own projects. So you got a lot of different styles and competitiveness out there. Like, you want to be one of the best, or you want to be the best. So just to be able to be acknowledged out there, you got to be good, because there's a dope rap on every block, minimum.